Hello, my friend. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jaden, and this is PathTune, where we together are charting a course towards the shores of your higher potential. In this video, we will be discussing the greatness that lies within you, specifically your ability to transmute and alchemize energy. This will be a series, so feel free to subscribe and check out the playlist, because this will not be the last video on this topic. But diving in a little bit deeper, this is going to be a message for you, channeled through me. And if you found yourself on this video, there's a reason you're here. So I'm going to start it off with clearing the space with this bowl. But specifically, before we do that, I wanted to say that we are diving in to the difference between... I don't want to give it away. What I'm going to say is that you can use... Okay. I'll write out bullet points for you. I'm going to keep a surprise in here for you, so it unfolds well. So, hello. We are going to say we got alchemy, transmutation. Please forgive my handwriting. I'm writing quick. I want this to be a quick, good video for you. Take some good ideas away, and then you can use these ideas to better your life, yourself, your perspective, your mind. Set. Go. All right. Alchemy, transmutation. Specifically, underneath that is using blank to do so. And then we have blank versus blank. I think that's great. Does that give you a little bit of intrigue? Are you intrigued? Okay. Let's clear the space. We'll get into it. Wrap it up. I'm kind of tired. I mean, you can bring the energy, and that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing the energy, but I've been getting some low sleep the past couple nights, so I need to catch up on some sleep. And it is 9:30 at night. So let's just not do an hour-long video. How about that? Anything under an hour, we're good. Cool. We're clearing the space. So as I do this, please just take a breath. Breathe in, breathe out, release. The air that you breathe is a conduit for energy. It is energy. So it gives you a physical action to channel energy through. So when you exhale with intention, you're using your mind, that noggin of yours, that wonderful noggin, and your perspective and intention to channel certain energies within you to be released. That's why I'm all about the why and the because. We're told so many things are the way they are, and this, you got to do this, and I like the why behind it, and I really want to focus on giving at least my perspective of the why, because the why is what grounds it. The why is what gets you to be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Now I actually want to do it. But if you don't understand the why behind it, then it's kind of like an incomplete circle, and it's just unsatisfying, and it doesn't connect with you, especially in the sense of connecting deep enough to cause an actual positive change. Whether that's in your mindset, behavior, emotions, whatever it may be. It's all about the why. All right, let's go for it. Deep breath in. I'm going to put the mic a little closer so you can hear this better. All right, I'm done. Whoa, dude. Whoa, gentle, chill, dude. All right, let's do it. Let's tell you what you came here to watch. Let's give you the info. Then we can go to sleep. Get that good rest. By the way, I'm still doing the 30-day video challenge. So I'm on like, I don't know. I haven't counted. I haven't kept exact track. I'm on like day 16 or something. Or something. Every day, filming a video. So, alchemy, transmutation. I've done a previous video. It was one of the first ones I posted saying you are the master alchemist and magician of your life, transmuting the ethers and the non-physical intention into physical reality, crystallizing ideas into form, yeah. Bringing the energy from a non-physical plane into the physical plane. That's pretty badass if you ask me. So you have that ability, and how do we do that? How do you do something like transmuting pain and suffering, which we all will go through, into value, power, from a positive perspective, power? You do it, and you can do this with other things. You can transmute something that is uncomfortable. Not that all discomfort is bad, because that's what causes you to grow, but you can transmute an energy that is non-preferable, I guess is the best way to say it, into something that is more preferable for you. And that is a superpower of yours. So this video is all about giving you some key ideas to understanding the superpower within you, understanding what the tools are, and then understanding the why behind even doing it in the first place. So, specifically, this is going to be around the topic of anxiety versus excitement. Okay? And we go through this process of transmutation. We are multidimensional beings. And by the way, this is a reminder. I know that you know. The you within you, the real you, that's what I meant to say, already knows all of this. So this is a reminder from me to you of what you already know. But sometimes we need a reminder to trigger the thoughts, and then the new thought pattern will create a different action, different results if you decide to do something about it. But in order to change the behavior, you need to have a different thought pattern that's different than the same mindset that has created the situation that you are trying to transmute. So, dun, 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 that leads into using your mind. Could have guessed that one, right? But the big thing is your perspective. Your perspective. It may seem simple. It may seem too simple, but often the most powerful things are simple. Let me break this down. Your superpower, as the multidimensional being that you are, you have a mind. You are not your mind. You are not your body. And by the way, these are ideas. This is a perspective. Give it a whirl. You decide ultimately for yourself. Take the information, take what connects with you, leave what doesn't, and browse a variety of different sources, and then you make your own conclusions. Just a reminder. But this perspective is about how your perspective is your it's your wand. It's your magical tool of transmutation. It's basically a wand. The wand of your mind. We'll write it. The wand of your mind. We'll say the magic wand. Make it a little more mystical. The magic wand of your mind is your perspective. Why, Jaden? Well, because any situation or any circumstance, as I have mentioned before, is at its base level an event. It's a happening. It is being. I'm not going to do it. I was going to bring out the jug. If you watch the other video, you'll know. But at its base level, everything is meaningless in a good way. And it is through the mind that we give things meaning. So if we go through any event, anything that happens is not inherently good or bad. It's only when we give it a meaning and we perceive it to be a certain way that it creates a certain value of positive or negative or whatever words we want to use to describe this happening that is. So your perspective is like what is the conductor holds the wand, right? And I'm holding one right now. The conductor of an orchestra. There's obviously a different name for that. And I should probably know what that is. But we're going to say it's a magical wizard conductor. And that conductor is you, and you got your wand in your hand. And it could be it's your perspective, right? But this is just, we're having fun here. Your perspective is the magic wand of your mind. You transmute something, even on an unconscious level. Something happens, get a flat tire, right? Get a flat tire. Now, the experience is determined by you. The quality of the experience is determined by you. It's not about what happens. It's about what you do with what happens. That is a golden rule. We got to write that one. And put a star next to it. It's not about what happens. It's about... I don't think there's supposed to be an apostrophe there, honestly. If I'm being grammatically or syntax. Is it syntax? I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be that. It doesn't feel right to me, but it's not about what happens. It's about what you do with what happens. That, okay, bear with me here. Thanks for hanging out with me, and thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. It's not about what happens, it's about what you do with what happens. That makes all the difference. All right. It's about how you choose to look at that flat tire. And you can look at that flat tire from a variety of different perspectives. It's not like there's just two. But it comes down to, do you take the lens primarily of life is happening to me, as if I'm the victim of this life, that things just keep happening to me? Or are you taking responsibility for your own creation? And if you are in the perspective that life is happening to me, that's part of the ride. We've all been there in that mindset. But once you start to step out of the victim mentality and even if it doesn't seem like it's your fault, accepting responsibility is a vibrational frequency. Accepting responsibility, total responsibility for your life, no matter what is in it, is coming from an understanding from a higher perspective. And you have to build that perspective through intentionally learning about you and your place in reality. So I want to share, and I am sharing, a lot of the concepts that will help build that perspective. But it is all about building a high level perspective so you can see the bigger picture. That gives you the ability to then wield your power, your magic wand of the mind, aka your perspective. Then when the flat tire happens, you can get upset. You have two choices. You can either use it and do something productive with it, or you can let it use you, let the experience use you, and then you get angry, you disrupt your vibrational frequency, you lower your vibrational frequency, which invites in stress hormones, which then compromise your immune system, and then brings disease. And you can actually attract disease or sickness into your life from doing this consistently. And then, because you're in that vibration, we attract what we are. We attract our things that are a match for or at least in resonance with our vibrational frequency. So if you're always pissed off about everything that is happening, then you're going to continue to attract like frequency to that, and experiences of a similar nature will continue. And it goes on multiple levels, right? Like, yes, I believe that you may magnetically attract possibilities and increase the likelihood of certain possibilities, but that is directly correlated with your perspective, which then determines if those events or circumstances that you're attracting are actually going to be negative events, right? So yes, if you can look at it as, I'm attracting negative shit into my life, but you're attracting negative, bad events because of the frequency that your dominant frequency and your perspective, your general perspective that you kind of consistently hold, or at least hold for above 50% of the time. And then if you're in that perspective a majority of your time, even if it's 51%, then you're tipping the scales in the nature of, even if certain events aren't right, because nothing is inherently good or bad, but even if certain events, like you get a flat tire, you could look at that as, oh, I attracted something negative into my life. But did you really? Or did you just make it negative because of how you responded to it? Because it's not about what happens. It's not about what happens. It's about what you do with what happens that makes all the difference. And once you start to realize that everything that is happening is there to serve you in some way, otherwise it wouldn't be there. And that's a perspective, right? But then you have the conscious, rational mind that wants to fight against that, because that is not necessarily 100% logical. I get it. It's a juggle. It's a dance. You have to find a flow with tuning. It's like tuning. You're tuning the guitar, and it's not like you just twist it and flip the switch and it's in tune. You got to work at it a little bit. It takes some time. Give yourself some grace, but be willing to learn. Be willing to be open. Be willing to change, because if you are feeling like you're having a lot of negative experiences lately, I'm here to tell you, I'm here to share with you, I'm here to give you the idea that you can choose to do whatever you want with, that your key to changing that all around for the better is right there, right in your hand already, and you're using it every day. And it is the magic wand of your mind. It is your perspective. So, going a little bit deeper into this, let's specifically talk about, okay, well, let's finish out the car thing, right? So you can look at the flat tire as, damn, that sucks. I have to pay money. I'm delayed. I'm late. And you can still acknowledge those things. Yeah, I'm late to work. Well, that is what it is. Like, I can't just teleport there right now. Maybe I can, but I don't know how. So it comes with multiple steps to getting to be able to wield this magic wand of your mind in a preferable, constructive way. Part of which is acceptance of what is. That's a big one, and it might take some time to be able to kind of work with just that energy of acceptance. Then another thing, so I'll just write that. These are like key parts. Acceptance. Then so you get the flat tire. You accept it. Once you've accepted it, now you're kind of in a neutral position. And once you're in a more neutral or neutrality, now you can apply and imbue the experience with an energetic frequency using your perspective. So now you can choose to look at it from a variety of different ways. You can still choose to ruminate and focus your spotlight of creative energy, of your attention, on the fact of, or the aspects about it that are inconvenient, non-preferable. You can continue to focus on that, and it's a choice. It's always a choice. And this is when It was right to put the apostrophe there. But just saying, just talking to myself there. So the other option is to look at that flat tire and say, wow, how can I learn from this? What is this here to teach me? Well, maybe I should have a jack in my car so I can change my flat tire. Maybe I should have what is it called? A spade? No. I don't even know. The freaking wrench. The wrench thing. Maybe I should have AAA. So there's the side of learning from it, whatever you can. Maybe this experience came into my life so that I could then be prepared for a similar experience in the future. Maybe this was a training ground for me to be able to to get awareness that I need to take certain actions to prepare and learn. And if you take that perspective, you're gaining value from it. You have now transmuted that experience from a negative to a positive because now you took value away from it. But not only that, not only just the lessons, but you can look at it from a higher perspective and throw out other ideas, other possibilities of what do you want to call it? God, your higher self, your angels, however you want to come up with the idea. Because anything is possible, right? So you can throw out the idea to yourself, maybe this delay that I'm experiencing has saved my life. Maybe this was all supposed to happen and this is all in divine timing. And I got this flat tire so that I would be delayed and I missed a certain scenario. There was another parallel timeline where I got into a head-on collision crash and went to the emergency room. There's an infinite amount of possibilities. And you can use, just throwing out different possibilities. It's about expanding your awareness of what could be a higher truth of organization, of the organizing principle of synchronicity at work. In a couple of the past videos, we talked about that. We did an introduction into that. But by throwing those ideas out there to yourself, you begin to broaden the perspective and you're not so focused on the things that didn't go right, and you're allowing yourself to see the possibility that maybe there is a higher order to it. Maybe it could be a good thing, even though I may not fully understand what it is at the moment. But it is possible. It is possible. Ultimately, it could be a good thing. And that's how, from my experience, a lot of uncomfortable or discomforting situations, in the grand scheme of things, in retrospect, end up being positive. That's happened. I'm sure that's happened to you before. It sucks going through it, but then you look back and it's like, wow, it was pretty good. That was a good thing that happened. So when you're in the moment, when you're in the thick of it, it doesn't feel like that. That's why using your perspective and being able to wield that, even though you may have emotions of frustration and you're late and you're hurrying and you're tired and now you're sweating because you're trying to change the tire, or you're angry, you're annoyed, why has this happened? Like, those are all disrupting your flow of you wielding the magic wand of your mind to transmute the energy, to be able to, even though it sucks, even though maybe there are some uncomfortable or not preferable things about this specific situation in the moment, it is what it is. You're going through it anyway. So would you rather suffer more intensely or take value from it, see what you can learn, maybe look at it from a higher angle, different perspectives, so that way you're not being dragged down by the experience? The experience is happening no matter what. So would you rather ascend from it and learn and grow and then come out of it still feeling all good? Or would you rather be angry and low vibrational emotions and then not take anything away from it? Or to maybe not take as much away from it, lesson wise, because you don't get into the headspace to really ask and reflect about what else could I learn. Maybe there's one thing you take away, but maybe there's more than one thing you can learn from it. So you're getting what I'm putting down, right? You're picking up what I'm putting down. So let's finish this out. Specifically with anxiety and excitement. That was kind of the reason why I wanted to make this video. And we're 30 minutes in. Wow, time flies. So it's just, I wanted to build up the groundwork so that I can make this point. And this is the big point. At any given moment, you may feel different emotions. Sometimes we feel anxiety, and sometimes we feel excitement. And I learned this from Alan Watts. But what's interesting about those two emotions is that the feeling of anxiety and the feeling of excitement are nearly, pretty much, basically the same feeling. If you're just looking at these from the physiological perspective of your body, when you get anxiety, you may feel a little bit nervous. You got nervousness, butterflies, maybe a little bit of sweat, increased heart rate, clammy hands, shallow breath. I don't know if I said that. When you feel excitement, say you're about to get onto a roller coaster, or you're on a roller coaster, or you're about to step out in front of a crowd, but you decided to do that. You've been looking forward to it, or you're about to finally meet someone you've been really looking forward to meeting, and you're waiting for them, and they're about to walk through the door. You're going on a date. Like you're excited to be there, or you're going to a job interview, and it's one of the best opportunities you've had in a long time. Like that, those are exciting things, right? But the feelings that you're experiencing, especially leading up to it, it could be looked at as anxiety. But it is excitement. So Alan Watts connected these two ideas because they're basically the same experience in the body, which is such a great distinction to make, because that's pretty much, I think that is very accurate. You following me? So, what determines if you're feeling anxiety or if you're feeling excitement? Take a wild guess. Your perspective. Your perspective is the device or the tool or the wand, whatever you want to say, that is enabling the alchemical process of transmutation of that energy. And say it starts off as anxiety, but then through the mind, you can transmute it to excitement by noticing, I'm feeling this way, I'm excited. And then start to focus on the things about it that you're excited for, that they are going to be good and beneficial and preferable. and it's where your focus goes, where your attention goes, energy flows. But at any given moment, you could be feeling those physiological feelings, and you have the choice to look at it as I'm feeling anxiety or I'm feeling excitement. And if you choose to say to yourself, I'm feeling anxiety, then the experience of these physiological sensations are going to be interpreted by your mind as anxiety, which could then snowball into more nervousness and then go into something, maybe an anxiety attack. That was a terrible, I'm just going to get rid of that. I was trying to draw a downward spiral. But if you can stop yourself and notice, I get to choose if this is anxiety or excitement, because I am the creator of my own internal experience and my reality. So that's taking responsibility. Accepting that you're feeling the feelings, and then you're transmuting that experience, which could be a negative experience or a negative perception of the experience, and you're doing something with it by using the perspective, using your mind and the tool, the wand of your perspective, to then change the meaning behind the sensations and the experience, the physiological experience. And through the mind, you're creating excitement. Wow, I must be excited. I'm not sure exactly what for, but I sense the excitement here. Maybe something good's about to happen. Maybe something wonderfully unexpected is about to happen. Maybe I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do. Maybe I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. Maybe I'm a little bit curious about how this all plays out and how this goes down. Man, I'm excited to see how this works out. This is going to be cool. It's a movie. You're the character in your movie. So, does that give you the idea? If you understand that, and if you took something away from that concept, please drop in the comments if you've ever experienced something like that where you get the choice to choose. It's all in your perspective. It's all a matter of perspective. And that is one of your greatest skills, is to be able to refine your ability to intentionally choose a perspective. How you want to look at something shapes the meaning of any situation. So it's applicable to everything in life. But life will become happening for you, and you will be able to use everything you go through to your advantage for your own betterment if you can build this skill of intentionally transmuting negatives into positives through your perspective. So we do this transmutation process through the mind, through understanding, and then looking at it through different lenses. The transmutation process is initially done through the mind. You can then bring in the body to then start to affirm, and the body and the mind are connected, right? So if you start, it's like the poses, right? If you start doing different poses or you start smiling, you will actually start to become happier. They've done studies on that. You'll become more confident. So it works both ways. But if you start thinking a certain way, then your body will then start to reflect the thoughts. And then if you start feeling and acting a certain way intentionally, then your mind will start to reflect those feelings. So, but your thoughts are more easily controllable than your body's feelings, in my opinion. Your thoughts are one of the few things in this world that we do have control over. And yes, it doesn't mean it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is possible. You don't have control over other people, but you do have a great deal of control over your own mind. And that's a reminder for you. And it is a skill, and you build it. And we use our minds to our advantage because they are great supercomputer tools that interface with the quantum reality. It's beautiful. So let me know what you think of this video. If you enjoyed this, drop a like, share it, do the stuff. If you have not subscribed yet, I would encourage you to subscribe because we're going to be creating a lot more cool videos. This is just the beginning. I'm just throwing this stuff together. I'm doing a video a day. In the future, I'll be really putting some good things together in terms of preparing and not just coming to this with a single bullet point in mind. Like, I do video production. That's my career. So there's a lot of cool things in the future, and I love to innovate. So I have technology lined up. We'll do some interactive things, live events. Like, oh man, it's going to be so good. So I would really encourage you to subscribe because you're going to want to be here on this journey, and it is going to be valuable. I am all about giving you good ideas and value that you can then apply to your life to raise your vibration, expand your consciousness, and get more in tune with yourself, and then intentionally craft yourself to align with your highest future, with your soul's mission, your soul's purpose, your soul's path. And that will bring the greater level of joy and fulfillment and purpose into your life, which we all want. That's what we're all looking for. And I have done a great deal of time. I've invested a great deal of my own time in learning and exploring that path of how do you build the good life. I've explored many different perspectives from a variety of different sources, of cultures, of personality types of perspectives, and I'm coming now to share what I've found. And I'm still continuing to learn. I'm never going to be finished, but I do believe that I have something worthwhile to share, and I really do appreciate you taking your time and investing your time to be here with me now. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you for being willing to be open and hearing new ideas and perspectives that you may not have heard this way before, or it might challenge the way that you thought about things previously, or it might challenge your internal subconscious belief systems. But that's the thing, is we're bringing all of these ideas and elements of ourself to the surface of the conscious awareness. Now we can be aware when we feel triggered about something, or if I start to immediately say, no, that's not the way it is. It's like, where is that coming from? Where is that coming from? You ask yourself that. So it's just awesome. It's such a cool process to be able to share these ideas, because as I share, it's flowing out of me, and I'm understanding this way better as I'm exploring it with you here. So thank you for coming on the journey, and I really do look forward to seeing you in the next video. Have a good rest of your night, and I'll see you next time.